Hi everybody, welcome to this week's edition of Parasha Pointers. We delve into the weekly Parasha and we try to get some inspiration and learn how to not only raise our kids but raise ourselves. And this week, that is really what we're going to focus on. The Pasuk talks about Avraham Avinu. Now, you have to understand, Avraham Avinu discovered Hashem in such a way that he discerned what Hashem's ratzon, what's Hashem's will, of how we should conduct ourselves in the world. And that means to say, we've heard this many times, that Avraham Avinu kept all the mitzvot. I mean, how could he keep the mitzvot? The answer is he got so close in his discovery of Hashem that he was able to do what Hashem would want us to do, i.e. the mitzvot, through his own recognition, which is a tremendous thing. That means when he kept Pesach, for example, that means because he realized and he was able to tap in a very deep way to the fact that Hashem wants us to eat matzah. And he got that. He got it. That's how close he became to Hashem. Now we received the Torah, we go with those commandments, but Avraham Avinu discovered it on his own. But why did Hashem choose Avraham Avinu to be the father of so many nations, Av Hamon Goyim, to be the greatest man? And we all come from Avraham Avinu. And the Pasuk tells us, L'ma'an yid'ativ. You know why? Not because of what he does, but the fact that L'ma'an yid'ativ, that he lets it be known to his children afterwards, that his children will follow in his footsteps. The other night, I heard an amazing story. I'm going to tell you the story in 1 second. I heard it from my daughter. But I want to just tell you that we all want that for our children. As much as we grow, we look at our kids and we're like, I want my kids to be like that. I want my kids to be better than me. I want my kids to be tzaddikim. I want them to learn and grow and be great. What a beracha when we see that for our children. But how do we get there? How do we make that it stays with them, that they want to be that way? You could force people to do things, but that's not what we want. We want our children to want it. So how did Avraham Avinu do it? I heard this story, again from my daughter, and she said it over beautifully. It was the time of the Holocaust, and there were two sisters. One was 8, one was 6 years old. Lo aleinu, they were in the Holocaust, they were online, that infamous line of that Rasha Yemach Shemo V'Zichro, Dr. Mendele. And he was deciding, you go to life, you go to death, you go to life, you go to death. Next thing you know, the older sister, she was 8 years old, her name was Miriam. She sees her younger sister, Devorah, only 6 years old, on the wrong line, the line of death. And Miriam lets out this scream, howling scream, and everybody's like, what's going on? At that moment, she grabbed her sister and the girl next to her, quickly off the line. Saved their lives. Now, many years went by, and Miriam's she's in a mall somewhere, she's shopping, and a lady sees her and flips. Says, oh my gosh! She sees her and she faints on the floor. They bring her back to life. Hello, what's going on? What happened? She goes, this girl, she doesn't even know who I am, but I'll tell you, you know who I am. I'm the other girl that you saved. You went and saved your sister and you saved me also. How can I repay you and thank you? And Miriam's like, yeah, I did. I never knew who you were. They asked Miriam, why? You let out the scream, you have your sister, you're a little girl. Why'd you save the girl next to her? And she said, my father had a motto, he had a mantra that he never, ever, ever stopped saying. When you help someone, see who else you could help. You got 2 hands, not just one. Do whatever you could do for people. And he lived that way. And that just became who I am. So it was my nature. You know, the Satmar Rebbe asked the following question. He says, we say in Shema, these words of Torah should be al libavcha, they should be on your heart. Really, the Pasuk should say it should be in your heart. What do you mean, on my heart? And he says something beautiful. He says, a lot of things we tell our children, it goes on their heart, but it doesn't go inside. It doesn't become part of who they are. But there's that moment of inspiration where there's a little pierce in the heart, where it gets us, and you feel something, and all of a sudden when that little opening comes, all the things they ever heard goes in. And it becomes part of who they are. It takes time. But if we really personify the ideals and the values that we hold dear, and we are really sincere in it, and we really act that way, our children will do the same thing. It'll become part of who they are, but it's gotta be real. And that's what Avraham Avinu had. Whatever Avraham Avinu did was so real that it just went to his children and grandchildren. It was so sincere. And my prayer and my tefillah is that we should all merit to be so inspired ourselves that we become the people that are not, don't change ourselves, but it also affects the generations that come after. So we could be so proud to say, L'ma'an Yedativ, look at our children, look at our grandchildren, look at the type of people they are. And even that's not a guarantee. We gotta pray. But at least let's do the best we can do. Shabbat Shalom.